I didn't really know what to expect, and I drove it, and it just, honestly, it blew my mind. Man, my man Mike, he's an absolute legend. You know, I always talk about grind, hustle, and he's in real estate, so basically buying and selling properties, doing all of that kind of thing, going door to door, handing letters through doors, speaking to people live in the flesh. And I think that type of mentality, the people that just are on it, grind every day, whether it's raining, sunny, they're just out there on the front line, just making it happen. So let's get ready to get out of here, it's time. I completely forgot about going to the dry cleaners, so let's do that first. Immediately I was thinking to myself, this is...
I would have told him what happened to my one, but...
Leave the clothes. Oh my God.
Oh,
stuff like that.
Well done.
What thank you so much. To me as well. Lovely to see you, and thank you for the work. So we're in South Croydon right now. I lived on this road for a large part of my life. So this house right here is where I pretty much grew up, where you can see the sold sign. That's kind of crazy because I really wanted to still stay close to my mum and to my sister and to the family. I instead of moving too far, I literally moved across the street. I moved out and I moved onto this road that you can see right in front of you here, right there. That was my first experience moving out. It's yeah, just all memories and thoughts and a lot of good times, which set me up for the Alex that you see today. Seeing as we were talking a bit about real estate, it's always a pretty crazy feeling when you drive back past where certain things all started. This property here, it's always got a special place in my heart, but I love where I am now, but as with everything in my life, I'm not going to be there much longer. Looking to move on, get a little bit closer to the city and just get a feel for that city life. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, just taking it all in. Property is just such a great investment. Like, you've got to love it. I mean, look at these houses. Semi-detached, some detached, just peaceful area, community feel. It's yeah, I think these are the kind of things you think about when you eventually have a family, you want to settle down, relax. Neighborhoods like this are exactly perfect. It's exactly what you'd look for. And so, just as an investment, I guess these kind of properties, you buy them, you hold them. They're always going to appreciate, mainly in the southeast. Property tends to double every 15 years or so. So just taking it all in. And we'll see when the day eventually comes when I become a family man and settle myself down in a nice little semi-detached like this, but not for now. I think it's time to go and see some of the dream properties now, the kind of things that I would aspire towards, the kind of property that I can see myself in eventually. So let's head over and check them out. I love coming to these kind of places and just taking it. Look at this house, man. I mean, this is the next step. This has to happen. I think day one, started off, moved out, was somewhere that was, you know, 2-bed, but pretty small. Nothing special about it in South Croydon. It's where I grew up. And I look ahead now, walk with me. And I'm always thinking about the next step. How do I get there? What's the company I need to keep? What environment do I need to be in? And so I like to come for these kind of walks, check these kind of places out. I mean, look at the car, Bentley on the drive. Should that be next? So let's jump back in the car, head over to the rooftop and go and catch a little vibe, see what happens. Let's do it, man. Picture taking time. See, these are the stresses in the hassle, carrying clothes and coming prepared and being ready, but you know, we have fun with it. Heading up to a rooftop, 20th floor. You're gonna like the views, you can be sure of that. So let's get into it. Just come up here, breathe it in, the energy, it just feels amazing. So it's a great spot for pics. Just have a quick look around. I mean, when you look at it, you got everything from London to Croydon and everything in between all around. So just a great place to be up here and take in the vibe. So as I mentioned, or as you would have seen on the title of this video, it's really all about my 5 different income streams and how I leverage them to help me grow a multi-6-figure income, but also live the sales life that a lot of you have wanted to find a lot more about. So I want to walk through what those 5 different streams are, how I came about attaining them, and how I seek to really keep momentum with them as I move forward through 2020 and beyond. So the very first one is ultimately my job. So I seek to retain and hold on to my job at the moment, mainly because I see work as an opportunity to really learn and grow. And so I've always worked for companies that have been really fast-paced or in some way really significant, so that I can continue to learn, to grow, to develop. And so that's really my first income stream. It's ultimately doing full-time work and managing to balance that in and amidst everything else that I do. The second income stream that I have is really through stocks and share investment. So I tend to focus on investing in tech companies mainly. So if you think of Microsoft, you think of Amazon, you think of Apple, for example, all of these are big tech giants. And so I tend to invest in these companies, hold some form of vested interest, so that really as they continue to perform better, I ultimately win as well. So I'd recommend any of you to take a look at really the fast growing dynamic companies out there and look to just put a little bit of your money into that, so that you've got something that's got an element of risk but can also stand you to make a fortune over time. If you invested, for example, in a company like Amazon or Apple many years ago, your investment today would be worth like 1,000 times, or in some instances like 10,000 times what it would have been 10 or 20 or 30 years ago. So it can be a great investment, for example, if you just don't really know where to put your money and you've got some that you can maybe risk a little bit with. So the third thing that I invest in is property. And we've spent most of today going and looking at my dream properties, talking a bit about my very first time that I moved out 5-6 years ago now, and of course working towards that dream property for me to live in. But also I invest in property up north. So I've got a couple of what we call HMOs. So these are houses of multiple occupancy. So these are properties that I'll buy with 4 or 5 bedrooms and then rent out each bedroom individually, so that you make a much better rental yield from that one property than if you just rented it out to a family, for example. So that's my third income stream. It's really through property and real estate. And the only other point I'll actually make on that is the amazing thing about property is that if you hold on to one for 10 or 15 or 20 years, for example, most property tends to double in price, sometimes triple or even more. So it puts you in an amazing position to look to make a ton of cash over time if you can buy and also hold on to it. My fourth income stream is a service-based business. So a lot of you will know that I also run a sales consultancy. So this is where I work with business owners, entrepreneurs and founders and help them be able to scale their revenue results. So for example, take them from either no revenue or 10,000 or 100,000 pounds a year and take them up to multiple hundreds of £1,000s or even 7 figures for customers and clients that have got a ton of potential and are already in a great space. So service-based businesses I absolutely love because you can typically start them up with absolutely no capital up front. So if you think of me with my consultancy, ultimately what I'm selling is my knowledge, and I'm monetizing my knowledge to help business owners grow and scale, so it makes it a no-brainer for them, and it was really, really easy for me to start up as well. And my fifth and final income and revenue stream is my online business. So some of you will know that I also have my online program, and it's really a sales academy and also an academy where I work with people who want to start, build or scale their own online businesses. So I teach them, I educate them, I help people set up systemized and automated way to build and scale online businesses so that they can be much more hands-off, have a passive form of income, but also, of course, for me in the business, we're really seeking to grow that this year and scale that, and it's doing phenomenally well so far. So those are really my 5 main ways that I earn an income. I know that they're all kind of across a different strands and doing different things, but that's really intentional. I think it's really important to have a diverse portfolio of income streams so you're earning money in different ways. And we've seen how COVID has just crumbled some people completely. People on furlough, some people losing their jobs. And so what I found is having different ways that you've got income coming in. It means that even if something's not going particularly well, or if I've got a bad tech investment, it's okay, because property might prop it up, or one of the other streams, for example, can help to prop it up. So I hope that those are helpful in some way. If anything's unclear, feel free to let me know. As always, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned for the next one.